for this Thursday night of basketball. Dickinson State coming in at 6-11, 4-9 in the Frontier. BSC 5-12, 5-8 in the Frontier. The Mystics have been coming off a 3-game win streak, and they are 4-1 in their last 5 matchups, with the only loss coming against Dakota State in this building. On the other end, Dickinson State also riding a bit of momentum, back-to-back wins against Mayville and Valley City State. I am Isaiah Johnson on the color commentary today, joined by Kyler Olson, your play-by-play man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a winning streak. I know both teams, but exciting news for Mystics fans as we enter the NAIA era. We got a 3-game winning streak coming off a win against Mayville State and Valley City State on Monday and Tuesday. Kind of a side note to all that is, I know I'm curious to see what the stamina level of both the women's and men's teams are, as their 2 games that were supposed to be played over the weekend continue getting pushed back. So playing Monday, Tuesday, and now Thursday already. I believe we have the weekend off, but we'll see what the stamina level is. As a former Marauder myself, coming from playing DSU back in the good old days, and I know former AD Coach Myron Schultz will be well aware of the icky feeling that the DSU Bluehawks have coming into town. So we will see kind of a new rivalry born here, hopefully, as the Mystics and Bluehawks start to meet more and more as they both enter the Frontier and the NAIA. Hopefully an exciting rivalry as a pretty big crowd. I know it's blistering cold outside, so maybe they came in to enjoy the heat, but we'll see what kind of a great rivalry we can begin here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bismarck State College Armory on the beautiful campus of Bismarck State College for tonight's women's basketball matchup featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the Dickinson State University Bluehawks, and the home team on the scoreboard, your Bismarck State College Mystics. On behalf of the president of Bismarck State College, Dr. Dan Langang, and the rest of the Bismarck State College family, we would like to welcome you to tonight's basketball game. Bismarck State College welcomes all student athletes, officials, and spectators to tonight's contest. As a member of the NAIA and the Frontier Conference, we are committed to the true spirit of competition and being champions of character, demonstrated through 5 core character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask everyone in attendance today to abide by these values and create a positive environment in which our student athletes may compete, our officials may work, and you, the spectators, may enjoy. At this time, would everyone please rise, gentlemen, to remove their hats for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, we'd like to introduce the starting lineups. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Dickinson State University Bluehawks. A 5'5" senior guard from Sparks, Nevada, number 3, Angelica Shanrock. A 5'9" junior forward from Wolf Point, Montana, number 15, J.L. Garfield. A 5'8" sophomore guard from Lemon, South Dakota, number 20, Allie Coe. A 5'11" senior forward from Belle Fourche, South Dakota, number 23, Kaylin Garza. A 6' senior center from Conrad, Montana, number 24, Bray Enabo. Head coach for the Blue Hawks is Eric Nelson, assisted by Hannah Labrie and Tegan Townsend. We would like to welcome the 4th grade Mandan girls Stampede basketball team to tonight's game. They are joining the Mystics for their starting lineup. All right, Mystic fans, get on your feet, because it's time to meet and greet your Bismarck State College Mystics. A 5'4" junior guard from Mandan, North Dakota. Number 1, Piper Harris. A 5'10" sophomore guard from Bismarck, North Dakota. Number 15, Aaliyah McPherson. A 5'10" freshman forward from Willow City, North Dakota. Number 20, Ashley Martyrdom. A 5'7" senior guard from Mandan, North Dakota. Number 23, Kennedy Stormer. And a 5'10" junior forward from Spirit Lake, North Dakota. Number 25, Anna Lawrence. Head coach for the Mystics is Jason Harris, assisted by Courtney Olson.
We're going to skate one song only.
Mystics would like to thank Sanford Dickinson Sports Medicine for providing sports medicine coverage for tonight's matchup.
Dickinson State, of course, in-state rivals. So now being in the same conference, we'll be seeing a lot of them in coming years. Kaylin Garza of the Blue Hawks is coming off a week being named Frontier Conference Offensive Player of the Week. So watch out for her. She leads her team in points, the only Blue Hawk averaging double digits with 10. Also very talented shooter from the floor.
This BSC team coming in 5-12 overall, 5-8 in the conference. Once again, riding a 3-game winning streak. On the other hand, this Blue Hawks women's team also feeling the same kind of feel. 6-11 overall, 4-9 in conference. So statistically speaking, should be looking for some good basketball tonight as we get started here. Again, this BSC women's team beat Mayville State 80-68 on Monday and beat Valley 59-55 with some strong performances from Martyrdam, Kennedy Stormer, and Aaliyah McPherson. They really didn't shoot the 3-ball like stellar by any means, which is definitely the strength of this team. Shot plenty of them, but didn't hit as many as you'd expect. Martyrdam with 21, Stormer 15, McPherson with 12. Several girls in double digits, as you can see. A lot of good shooting from the field, so hopefully that shooting from the field for this Mystics team. As Lawrence gets to the basket to start off this game and gets a bucket for herself. But again, as great as this team's 3-point shooting has been this whole season, it's been good to see a little more balance the last couple days, last week or so actually, as Kennedy Stormer pulls down the rebound, and here come the Mystics. Kennedy's gonna pull out, which is not kind of a familiar sight to see. She's usually pretty aggressive towards the basket. Martyrdam with a nice rebound and a turnover gives the ball back to the Blue Hawks.
Turnovers will be something to look out for in this game, as that's been a big theme. So BSC getting its first road win against Mayville. They won the turnover battle 7-14. Huge step for them, but against Valley, their most recent game, there were 16 turnovers compared to 20 from Valley City. And it should be noted that Dickinson State, while winning its past 2 games, turned the ball over 18 times each game. So if either team can really limit those turnovers, that's a real path to victory.
Number 24, Bray Enabo gets to the basket for a pretty easy walk to the bucket there to get the Blue Hawks on the board. Kennedy strong to the basket, but cannot finish.
It's great to see the Mystics penetrate early. That's what they want to do, penetrate, kick it out, hit their open shooters. And Kennedy Stormer, Ashley Martyrdam, the best on the Mystics at getting to the rim.
Leading scorer, Kaylin Garza, lets one fly from 3, unable to connect. Garza averaging 10 a game, 5 rebounds a game. It's kind of unfamiliar to see your leading scorer be your leading rebounder as well, but as Isaiah already mentioned, she's all over the stat sheet for this Blue Hawks team. Mystics get the ball in, and Martyrdam looking for something. A lot of steps there by Lawrence, unable to connect on the jumper. So a little bit of struggle shooting for both teams to start this one. Maybe it's the cold weather outside.
Well, the BSC's most recent game was a 50-pointer on each side, so the score was not quite as high as we're used to seeing from these Mystics.
Mystics fouls on number 25.
Hannibal will go to the line to try for the three-point play here. Once again, a pretty healthy crowd tonight. Not sure if they're just here to benefit from the heaters, but hopefully some good basketball on hand for the whole crowd. Like we've already mentioned, hopefully this is a rivalry renewed as both these teams in the same conference, as Kennedy gets to the basket and will go to the line for some free throws. Good to see her getting to the basket aggressively from the start.
Absolutely. She needs to really get that going. She's where the whole team runs through is Kennedy Stormer, getting to the basket, kicking it out. She had 5 assists in the previous game, and she always scores in double digits. She's averaging 20.9 per game.
As I mentioned, this BSC squad took down Mayville State behind Martyrdam with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and again, 7 of 13 from the field. Kennedy Stormer with 15 points, 5 assists, 5-11 from field. So as much as the three-point shootout we usually see from this team, some good stats from the field grow for this team as well. A tipped ball there, nice defense from Aaliyah McPherson. And here once again comes the Mystics offense. A kick out to Lawrence for 3 and off the front of the mark. And Angelica Shanrock had to kind of decipher that phonetically. Quite a few letters in 2 names. Gets the rebound, and a jump ball will give the ball back to the Mystics. Some good defense from the Mystics early on. Also good to see against Mayville State, Aaliyah McPherson, 12 points. Again, we're used to seeing Aaliyah with a ton of three-pointers, and that really wasn't the case against Mayville State. They shot just 7 of 29 from 3 against Valley. But Stormer was 17, as Martyrdam was unable to connect there. Stormer was 17 points, 7 rebounds against Valley, and McPherson with 13. So again, good to see Aaliyah McPherson getting the scores column more and more every game here. The three-point struggles for both sides continue as Allie Cohn unable to connect. And Kennedy Stormer pulls up and bang! Three-pointer from Kennedy Stormer gets the Mystics back in the score column, as both teams have kind of struggled here early on, but Kennedy able to hit there.
Yeah, in transition, you got to come right up in her face because she'll take that every time if that's open, and she's just too good of a shooter to leave.
As good as this Mystics defense has been early on, the baskets as Kennedy lets another one fly and unable to hit, but Martyrdam there to clean up and get her own basket. Great offensive rebound from Ashley Martyrdam.
Martyrdam with a huge game against Mayville, actually 21 points, and BSC's leading scorer, a breakout game for her. But consistently, she just does the little things right, always in position off of the backboards, and they're converting it to 2.
And as I just mentioned, as good as this BSC defense has been here early on, BSU, most of their points have come from just kind of casual drives to the basket. So hopefully it can make some defensive adjustments and cut off those drives to the hoop. As Angelica Shanrock goes to the line for some more free throws, unable to hit on the first, and is able to hit on the second. The 5'5" senior from Sparks, Nevada. And with 5.5 to go in here in the first quarter, Mystics clinging to a 1-point lead. Again, a little bit of shooting struggles from both sides. But again, both of these teams, I guess I should say this DSU team played Friday, Saturday, as Ashley Martyrdam gets to the bucket and will try the three-pointer the hard way.
What was I just saying about her? That is her game, driving to the rim, those and ones. The Mystics are really good at shooting the free throw, and this is another key point of the game for both teams. The Mystics shoot the free throw at 73% as a team. DSU shoots at 77%. So if either team can get to the line consistently, that's a big key for victory for both teams.
This DSU and BSC team coming off identical previous games against Mayville and Valley. The only benefit DSU has is not playing since Saturday, and this Mystics team has played Monday, Tuesday already this week. We'll see if that's a benefit or disadvantage, but a turnover will give the ball back to the Mystics.
And we have Natalie Dakota in the game for the Mystics in place of Aliana Lawrence. So we might see some more substitutions to keep the stamina up, because this Mystics team plays with all kinds of pace.
Piper Harris gets a great three-pointer here early on. Good to see her in the scorers column here early. That was wide open. Kennedy passed her the ball like falling over from the defense, and Piper able to take advantage.
I think this could be the Piper Harris game. I mean, this is a great opportunity for her. She can shoot well, but also just how feisty she is with her hands, getting in those passing lanes. Dickinson State is susceptible to a lot of turnovers, so I think Piper Harris can really thrive.
We get a media timeout here with just under 4.5 remaining in the first quarter. Mystics out to an early 14-8 lead.
Nice little run. Up by 6, coming off that travel from Piper Harris. Dickinson State hands it. Number 23, Kaylin Garza, fantastic player for this team. Averages 10.1 points a game. Also leads the team in steals and blocks. Just a very well-rounded player.
This team's shooting 1 of 6 from 3 and 2 of 6 from 3. As you see, Garza hits their first one of the night. So again, a little bit of shooting struggles here early on. I'm sure that'll warm up a bit. As number 12, Kiri Aldridge with a nice turnaround and off the glass to get the Blue Hawks back in the scores column. Mystics working it around the arc here. Ashley Martindam looking for something with some nice footwork. McPherson pull out and back out to Stormer with 10 on the shot clock. Kennedy looking for something, creating everybody up in her face, and just a little too much action in the lane there causes another turnover. A lot of moving feet on both teams offensively here tonight, and finally Garza is called for the travel, and she'll take a seat.
Look at Piper Harris going up against 5'11", Kaylin Garza, just arms up, waiting for help, and drawing the travel. Really nice play from Piper Harris as she takes a seat.
If Piper Harris showed up to the Y, I don't want her guarding me. Holy. Girl's got a motor. Dakota launches from 3 off the front. The crowd had a little bit of a gasp there, so maybe a little bit of contact that was gotten away with.
Yeah, I thought it was tipped.
She didn't hesitate to shoot it, so she could have very well had some pretty good defense on her. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay with DSU. Again, Blue Hawks, a lot of their points here early on have come on some pretty easy buckets down low, as that backdoor pass goes out of bounds and will go back to the Mystics. They've probably had half of their points already tonight off just kind of layups at the basket that BSC's had some miscommunication on. Hopefully a pretty easy defensive adjustment. Lots of movement and action here offensively for BSC. Kennedy Stormer posting up down low. Martindam lets one go, and poof! Another three-pointer from Ashley Martindam. A lot of space here defensively at the three-point line. Yeah,
I'm surprised. No one got a hand up. She'll take that, and she was shooting really well earlier in the season, has cooled off a bit, but she will take that shot. With any of these Mystics players, you've got to get your hand up. If they have an open look, they're taking it.
Nice post-up move down low. And Natalie Dakota with a nice finish at the basket with a really nice pass down to the post. Speaking of the post, there's not a whole lot of size tonight. I guess Bray Enabo is 6 foot. She probably provides most of the size for both these teams. Usually there's at least somebody on the visitor side brings a little bit of height and size. DSU works it around the arc offensively. A nice pass down low. And Enabo unable to finish at the basket. again, BSC kind of with the nice adjustment there as Kennedy gets to the basket. And count it. Just so much fun to watch her operate offensively. She finds areas of space that don't even exist yet. And she'll go to the line for another opportunity at a three-point play.
It looks like BSC has a bit of a quickness advantage on DSU. Just a few times they've been able to go all the way through the defense and get an easy bucket, just like Kennedy Stormer did there.
And offensively, that can obviously create a lot of kick-out three-pointers as soon as that defense starts collapsing on you as Kennedy finishes the three-point play. So another build on to BSC's offense tonight could definitely come from some drive to the hoop and kick-out wide-open three-pointers. As Angelica gets back to the bucket for another three-point play opportunity. Quite a few shooting fouls early on here tonight as both teams got 7 free throws here early on. There's some quarters we don't even see a free throw. Some aggressive offense and defense here to start.
Yeah, both teams just love to get to the line. That's how they beat you, with discipline, driving to the hoop, getting to the line. Like I said earlier, both of these teams shoot the free throw at over 70%, so that's where they want to live.
So we approach 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Kennedy lets another one fly and bang! Just unloading early tonight. Awesome to see Kennedy Stormer.
She's got 11 now in double digits. 2 of 3 from behind the arc.
She has been averaging 21 points a game, and you can see exactly why. She doesn't waste any time getting warmed up in these games. She's already asking for the ball at the top. As Aaliyah works it around here, lots of back screens. A nice kick out pass. And Harper Harris joins the three-point party with another one. 15 seconds ago in this first quarter.
BSC is playing their kind of game right now. They're controlling the tempo and the pace. They're 5 of 11 from the three-point line, and that is a recipe for success. They're getting their stars open and hitting enough shots.
A great defensive stand for BSC. We've talked so many times this season of the ticky-tock fouls to end quarters and halves, and for BSC to come up with a really nice defensive play there and force up a not so great and uncomfortable shot to end the first quarter is another great sign to see defensively for this team.
Absolutely. Going up 8, going into the second quarter, great spot for the Mystics, in control early.
Hey, that putt at the, we almost, BSC's athletic department budget almost quadrupled there for a second. They moved the putt back to pretty much the riverboat, and the guy almost hit it again.
Yeah, wow. We've got some impressive golfers in this building. People who specialize at hitting golf balls on hardwood. I mean,
from across the basketball court is just insane.
Must have gotten
as
some
Downhauer
practice.
Hits off the back of the rim. And Allie Cohn with the rebound. And back storms DSU. And Inabu gets the bucket for kind of just a quick offensive possession and gets the bucket before any defense can get set. And Inabu connects again.
You can really see the message from Coach Eric Nelson coming out of the first quarter is get to the rim, penetrate, just get it inside to your bigger players and immediately turn and shoot. That's been working. Here we go again. Better defense there by Natalie Dakota.
And Annabelle gets her own rebound and puts it back up, and her size advantage, unless they double or triple team her, is continuously showing here. As Annabelle has 9 points already. But I think the Mystics will take layups and layups and layups all night as long as they can continue this shooting spree that they're on offensively. Harper Harris lets another one go. It's back in front of the rim, and Annabo with a rebound. Blue Hawks looking to go quickly. A nice shot fake and a kick out. Back out to Shanrock. Bounces it, somehow finds the net. And the Mystics lead immediately shrinks and already down 1 here as we get into the second quarter. Some adjustments from this DSU team as Aaliyah lets one fly. It's around in the rim, but unable to finish.
That was textbook ball movement from DSU coming off that 3 for Shamrock. You get the person to jump on the outside, swing it to the outside, swing one more pass, and then you get that open look.
Annabelle with another really good look, but cannot hit. BSC decides not to touch it. And a whole line change here from both teams as Martindam and Piper Harris check back in. The 3 new Blue Hawks. There's a busy scores table there for a second.
Yeah. BSC just needs to settle down here. Kennedy Stormer directing the offense. Her and Piper Harris really good at facilitating. So just run your play, get deep into the shot clock. Should be able to find a good look.
There's no one really hanging out down low defensively as Kennedy lets another one go and unable to connect. So it's not like you have to avoid going down low because there's really not a big physical presence, but nonetheless, the 3-pointer goes up and BSC back on defense. Needing a nice little stop here to slow down some offensive momentum from the Blue Hawks. As a
nice play.
Tough pass inside is intercepted, and here comes Kennedy. Nice kick out to Piper, and Piper Harris hits from 3. Just what the Mystics needed right now. It's a little bit of a spark.
2 for 2 from 3. That's 6 for Piper Harris, and she's off to a good start.
You can see Aaliyah fronting her. They brought the big up top to the top of the key, really spreading BSC out defensively, but unable to hit at the bucket is Carson Temple. And the Mystics will operate offensively. Again, a lot of backside movement, a lot of back cuts. Ashley Martindam trying to look for something. A nice kick out pass to Dakota. Dakota tries for the bank shot. Aaliyah there to clean it up. But Kaylin Garza showing off her size and gets up in her face for a nice block.
That's a tough matchup going up against Garza, who averages over 1 block per game. A really strong defender for the Blue Hawks.
McPherson thought she had a pretty easy turnaround and then met some size behind her. As the Blue Hawks get again to the basket, another ball rolls around the rim. And Jada Clarkson gets the bucket and finds some contact. Blue Hawks, I'm curious how many tough layups they've had missed tonight. They should probably have 10 to 15 more points just on layups, but just haven't been able to get the ball through the net some possessions. And Jada Clarkson will go to the line. This Blue Hawks team does have 5 girls shooting 40% or better from the field. Kyrie Aldridge and McKenna Hoagie both shooting 49%. And Aldridge also shooting 43% from 3. So some good shooters on this team, as we've seen several girls touch the ball already, as their size did take a seat for a few moments. That one in and out from Lawrence. As we have a tie game here with 5.5 remaining in the second quarter. A wide open 3 opportunity not taken from Aldrich. And nonetheless, Carson Temple hits from 3, 5'11" freshman from Cheyenne, Wyoming. A nice kick out to Ashley Martindam. It's just about everything, but Piper Harris somehow ends up with the rebound. Lawrence trying to find something, being attacked down low. Kennedy trying to get some speed, and imagine that. Kennedy Stormer finds contact and will go back to the free throw line. Girl has no fear.
That's just what the Mystics needed to settle down. They've not really been playing their game and getting to the rim in this one, just launching up 3s. Of course, the rough rim luck on Aliana Lawrence's 3 there, but the Mystics really need to start getting back to the rim. Only 1 foul on each team, and that's surprising, as the Blue Hawks are getting easy looks, but the Mystics aren't really even trying to penetrate. So this could partially be because they're tired from this long week of basketball, but whatever they can do to keep penetrating to the rim, getting to the foul line, will help them a lot.
Basketball fans, as you can already see, statistically predicting we should have 2 pretty good basketball games tonight, and we already have quite the chess match going in this as a charge call. We'll give the ball back to the Mystics. Plant your feet, close your eyes, and hopefully good things happen. The Piper Harris way.
Piper Harris so good at drawing the charge. Just plays at 100%, and that where knowing where to be on the court, so important. She plays with such a high basketball IQ, and that play perfectly demonstrated that.
just under 5 to go here in the second quarter. We do have a 1-point game. We do want to give a shout out. Looks like we got some youth girls basketball, some Mandan girls basketball. I'm sure they're here to support the Harris girls and Kennedy Stormer, who are all from Mandan, North Dakota. So a shout out to some youth basketball girls over to their side over here. They all have Mandan stuff on. I can't tell what their sweatpants say, but good to see a bunch of young, hopefully aspiring basketball players watching some good college basketball tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably an experience they'll remember for quite some time. I mean, when I was younger, any basketball game I could see was just cinema. I was engaged. So, big memory for them.
They got to hang out on the bench during the starting lineups to see the light show and all the cool music. So hopefully a really good experience for them as we get going back. Piper will bring the ball up here offensively. DSU and still in some man-to-man. Just fighting through some screens here. Kennedy Stormer kind of positioning-wise takes full advantage and gets a foul out of Shanrock. Kind of just a big swipe. But again, as the Mystics don't have a ton of height or size, so we got Kennedy Stormer posting up down low.
Yeah, it's been Shanrock versus Stormer in this one.
Another nice move to the basket, and Tempo gets to the bucket again off the tough pass inbounds. And DSU grows this lead to 3. Does not feel like the Blue Hawks have controlled too much of this game. It feels kind of like a back and forth. As Kennedy looks for something. Some pretty good man-to-man defense here from the Blue Hawks. Piper Harris looking for something and takes a few too many steps and will result in a travel. Seen a lot of pick up your dribble and just the defense is just swarming on both sides. A lot of pivot foots being used early on here.
It's the second travel on Piper Harris, so they're really getting to her a little bit on some of these double teams. Playing tough man-to-man defense, but also help defense.
Shanrock lets one go from 3, cannot connect. Piper Harris was playing some good defense. Guess we haven't seen too many travel calls from BSC because we're usually unloading 3-pointers left and right. Don't have to pivot.
The ball's doing all the traveling, I tell you. So that is the 4th foul on Dickinson State. So the next foul will be 2 free throws for the Mystics. So I expect to see some penetration in this last 4 minutes. Get to the line and maybe try and get a small lead before halftime.
Dakota gets the basket, a nice little kick-out pass. Dakota from 3 and hits.
Or do that.
A great dribble drive from Aaliyah and nice kick-out, and Natalie Dakota takes full advantage and another 3-pointer.
Looks like they're giving her a 2, so maybe her foot was on the line there. But
look good from here.
Nice 2-player action. Just come in, come out, and eventually get enough space for that 3.
Nice intercepted pass here from Piper. She's looking for something numbers-wise. Dakota says, I'll just throw up the 3-pointer off the rim. But another nice offensive rebound. Aaliyah McPherson from 3 and hits. Great shot from Aaliyah McPherson. A really good decision from Piper Harris on fast break. Turns into 3 points.
Nice to see number 15 getting in on the scoring. That is her shot. The high arcing rainbow can shoot over anybody and from anywhere on the court. That's so big to get her going in this game. Her first 3 points of the night.
Piper Harris's point guard eyes on that fast break. She really wanted to go to the basket, and she decided to kind of briefly reset. And of course, as we saw, it results in points. So a great basketball IQ decision there from Piper. As BSC regains the lead here. Some nice defense again, and a steal from Piper. And she again will pull out, look for a better shot. Martindam from 3 and hits again! Ashley Martindam lighting it up from 3-point land tonight. As the Mystics grow this lead. A little more as we dip to the 2.5 mark in the second quarter.
Amazing stuff. Piper Harris, what was I saying? Getting in the passing lanes, getting in the grill of Angelica Shanrock, and that results in 3 points off turnovers. Mystics up 5. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
And we've talked all season thus far with this BSC team is finishing out quarters offensively and defensively and being consistent. So with this last 2 minutes, before halftime. Really want to see this Mystics team is finish on both ends of the court as they already come up with the turnover. Dakota pulls back from the free throw line, and Piper Harris there with the rebound. And call here will give the ball back to DSU. Coach Jason Harris wasn't thrilled about the call at first, but it looks like he accepted it. Not totally sure what the call was.
Ashley Martindale stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds. From this angle, it looked like she might have been out of bounds. So, ball out of bounds with just under 2 remaining here. Garza along with Enebo, both in the game here to finish off this quarter. BSC is definitely adjusted to the Enebo factor. She's looking for something and being triple teamed at the same time. They're not necessarily swarming her and like basically building a fence around her and saying you're not getting to the basket, better shoot from there. It looks like Enebo doesn't really like that idea.
Stormer took a cue there from Jason Harris, not exactly seeing the foul call, but looks like a foul on DSU underneath. So free throws for Dakota.
Jason Harris is kind of just non-visually highlighting things for the officials to see here. You see the just pointing like, I told you so. Natalie Dakota will go to the line for some free throws here. Mystics 5 of 6 here early on from the free throw line. I should not have said that out loud. And I'll stop talking for the next couple of seconds. It's back, man, it's back.
This is your time for silence.
Ah, yes, give it a break. There you go, benefit. So again, with 1:30 remaining here, Mystics clinging to a 6-point lead. Again, some consistency in finishing off quarters for the Mystics has been huge this season as another good defensive stand. Forces Cohn to be off the mark, and here comes Kennedy with no fear to the basket and unable to finish, and Garza the rebound and wasting no time, except with Piper Harris on her hip the entire time. A kick-out three-pointer and off the mark. Ashley Martindale with a nice rebound in traffic.
Oh, yeah. She's got 8 rebounds already.
You'd think she's like 6'5". Aaliyah McPherson lets one fly and hits. Aaliyah McPherson back in the three-point column as we approach 45 seconds remaining.
The crowd is getting into this game. You see the BSC sideline absolutely loving it with these three-pointers. BSC is now 9 of 23 from 3, and Dickinson State responds.
With 33, McKenna Hoagie responds with a 3, and with 30 seconds left. We'll see what the Mystics decide to do here. About 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So they'll probably use as much of it as they can here. Get a good shot here, Mystics. Finish strong offensively. Give the Blue Hawks no time to operate. With 8 seconds, a kick out to Aaliyah. She drives to the back with a nice floater. Unable to hit. With 4 seconds left, what will Garza think of here? A nice dip down low and a really tough pass. And a tough shot will result in no points. So as we go to halftime, Mystics with a 6-point lead and a back and forth. I mean, what more could you ask for as a basketball fan tonight?
Yeah, this is an entertainer. Shanrock of Dickinson State with 11 and Stormer with 13, each headlining their various teams. We've seen a lot of 3 balls from the Mystics. Dickinson State really getting some nice points in the paint. So we're seeing this contrast. Not as many free throws in the second quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how the foul situation progresses. But the Mystics are in good position, up by 6. And make sure to stick around at halftime where we will get an exclusive interview with Coach Jason Harris on how the season has gone so far. So stick around, that is coming up soon at halftime.
Hello, I'm Garrett Freilich, joined here by Jason Harris.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So let's get right into it. The team's been playing better as of late. A little bit of a rocky start, but how would you describe the season so far?
Yeah, early on it was kind of getting adjusted to the Frontier Conference, the 4-year basketball, the NAIA transition, and yeah, it's been a tough one. It's been an eye-opener for sure. But yeah, we're on a 3-game winning streak, playing pretty good basketball right now. Obviously, a very big game with Dickinson tonight. We're 1 game ahead of them in the standings, and top 8 make the Frontier Conference playoff to the tournament. So definitely a big one for us tonight. And if we can get the one tonight, we kind of hold destiny in our own hands to get in that tournament.
That'd be huge. What do you attribute the recent higher level of play to?
Well, the biggest thing is the girls are starting to adjust to the physicality of the game, the speed of the game in the Frontier Conference, and just 4-year basketball in general. You know, your athletes are a little older, a little more mature, quicker. They've had more experience. 2-year basketball, you're usually freshmen and sophomores. Your sophomores are your veterans. Now a sophomore is still considered kind of a young pup in the Frontier Conference. So we've, kind of treaded water for a little bit to get through, and now we're starting to learn how to swim, and I feel good about the way we're playing and kind of the direction the program's going.
Speaking of the maturity and adjusting to the older athletes, Kennedy Stormer has been by far best scorer on the team at least.
Yeah, I mean, and Kennedy's our only senior, right? She's been through the NCAA days, and she is our oldest player. She's actually leading the Frontier Conference in scoring at 21.9, so she's definitely put some points on the board. And I know she was probably a little surprised when I gave her a call and said, I'm not sure most people know this, but that's my oldest daughter, and said, I didn't know you weren't planning on playing, but you're going to move back to Bismarck here because I need a senior and you're it.
And then how is that? You have 3 daughters on the team, Piper and...
Yeah, Piper, Harper, and Kennedy, and it's a neat experience. I mean, it's one that I didn't think was ever going to be able to happen, but, the stars kind of aligned. Bismarck State giving me an opportunity to come back and coach, and then moving 4-year, it was just kind of everything fell in place pretty quickly. But, yeah, it's been, a ton of fun. It was something like I said in the past, never had the opportunity to coach my daughters more than in anything other than AAU basketball. So in a competitive college setting, we're a tight-knit family, and all the ladies on the team that play for me. I got a lot of daughters that typically aren't my daughters, but they are my daughters, and so having blood play, it is fun. It's a pretty cool experience.
Good luck tonight with the rest of the game, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
The Mystics have a 6-point lead over the Blue Hawks with just a few minutes left to go before half. Kennedy Stormer and Ashley Martadam leading the Mystics in points. Stormer with 13 off of 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. And Ashley Martadam, in addition to her 10 points, has 8 rebounds. Those two have been getting it done for the Mystics. And, of course, Piper Harris coming up big on the defensive end and with a few big threes of her own.
Yeah, as much as this Dickinson State team has I wouldn't say massive size advantage, but Garza at 5'11", Temple at 5'11", and Enabo at 6 foot. There's definitely a little more height and size on this Blue Hawks team, but as Isaiah just mentioned, I mean, Martadam, I'd be very curious how many points off Martadam offensive rebounds the Mystics have already. DSU only 3 offensive rebounds. They do have 14 defensive, but this Mystics team, with the lack of size that they have, usually aren't thriving in the rebounds category. So there have been a lot of notable offensive rebounds for this Mystics team, which hopefully, and I would imagine, has turned into quite a few points. So we'll see if that continues. We have had, I believe, 2 Mystics already in double figures. I'm sure Piper Harris, McPherson, maybe Dakota will inch their way to that. Maybe some double-doubles on the horizon. But 9 of 23 from three-point. It feels like the Mystics have more threes, but maybe they've just come at really, really good times during the game.
Yeah, they were a little cold in the first quarter or so, but they really heated up, and especially, I'd say, towards the second half of the quarters. They started out a little bit slow, heated up, started out slow, heated up. And this is something we've seen from them throughout the season, is really playing well in the second half of the individual quarters. So I think that's part of it. But also, in opposition to that, Dickinson State has twice as many paint points as BSC. 20-10 is that margin. So the paint, more consistency versus the Rainmakers of the Mystics has resulted in a 6-point game as the Mystics control. Piper Harris to inbound, and we are back for the third quarter.
This DSU women's team averages 17.6 turnovers a game, and they tend to struggle with defensive rebounds. So again, you can already see a team with much less size and height, like this BSC Mystics team, taking advantage of some offensive rebounds as Martindam lets one fly from 3 early, and Ashley Martindam gets this offense going early.
Oh, beautiful. The Mystics are getting this Dickinson State defense running, and they've been able to do this a few times. Just kick it back out, drive, penetrate, kick it out. That is their offense at its best. They have been feeling it. That's their 10th made 3 already.
Number 20, Allie Cohn, will go to the line for some free throws. Took Piper Harris to the brink, and Piper got the short straw out of the deal. Cohn, a 5'8" sophomore from Lemon, South Dakota. Blue Hawks shooting 5 of 7 from free throw, and BSC 6 of 8. Excuse me, 6 of 8 for both now. So not a ton of free throws here early on in this game, but I'm sure down the stretch in a tight game like this, free throws will probably become a pretty big factor. Lawrence is kind of a tough offensive possession. Coach Jason Harris not thrilled about that, and she kind of took one step and took a guess where the basket was. And Annabo takes full advantage, and Annabo gets going early. Back to the bucket for another 2. Again, another size advantage that the DSU could certainly take advantage of against this Mystics team that is not massively strong down low, as Ashley Martindam says, I have something to say about that. Martindam to the basket for another 2.
Oh, that was smooth. Martindam getting it done on all ends of the court. She's up to 15 points. Just so natural and smooth at getting to the rim.
Number 15, JL Garfield, hits from 3. A few new names into the score column for the Blue Hawks. Garfield, a 5'9" junior from Wolf Point, Montana. As Kennedy looks to get something going here. I'm sure Lawrence will take a little more time here offensively after Coach Harris's eruption. Lawrence from 3, and maybe she just needed to redeem herself.
Oh, yeah. Way better shot.
Coach Harris just kind of shakes his head and claps and moves on with life.
That started with Aaliyah McPherson. Head fake, driving into the lane, and drawing that outside defender in. And Lawrence is a very good three-point shooter. With she's wide open. It's not where you want to be.
Lawrence kind of leaves Annabo, and Annabo again takes full advantage of some nice footwork. McPherson from 3 misses everything, but Martindam just fighting for these rebounds tonight. Holy smoke, she is everywhere on the glass.
That's just A-plus effort. Her 9th rebound, and she fought for that, drawing the foul on top of it, hitting the deck. Wow, what a breakout game for Martindam after coming off a big game, too, against Valley and Mayville. Against Mayville, she scored 21.
Ooh. Piper was predicting a little opening there, but DSU cuts it off. Speaking of Ashley Martindam, got to get another shout out to good old Willow City, North Dakota. I'm sure we got some listeners in tonight. You think it's 85 and sunny up in Willow City today?
You know, if it was, then I would move there, and I don't think I'd have such a small population.
Kennedy just taps the basketball. Cannot hit from 3, and DSU's going to slow it down here a little bit. See if Garza and Annabo get going here. This Garza is not in the game. Martindam with another rebound. There's about 3 Mystics just sitting there waiting for it. Annabo is not necessarily down low too often. She moves around quite a bit as Lawrence shoots another one. And again, Coach Jason Harris not thrilled. She's kind of had to redeem herself a few times based on some really quick. And as I mentioned, Coach Jason Harris might be having a brief conversation with Lawrence here on the bench.
It should be noted that after that rebound of Ashley Martindam, she's already achieved a double-double with 17 minutes left to go in this game. 15 points, 10 rebounds for Ashley Martindam.
5'10" and 5'7", leading the Mystics in rebounds tonight, which really isn't unfamiliar to us, but another 3
there
for
she
the
is
Mystics.
Again.
Unbelievable. With 6.5 in the third quarter, Martindam just feeling it from the glass. Kennedy launches one, and Enebo is there for her own rebound. Mystics with a 6-point lead here, about halfway through the third quarter. It's a drive and kick out here. A nice kick out to Aldridge, who has a pretty good three-point percentage, but cannot hit there. And a nice steal from Piper. We'll see what she can do with it. I think she thought Martindam was right behind her, and Martindam was kind of staggered there. And Shanrock lets one go and misses everything. And again, here comes Piper Harris. I think Piper Harris had a really good mindset on the last one, but Kennedy lets a wide open three, and Kennedy Stormer takes advantage of some space and hits again.
Just a miscommunication from the Blue Hawks on that play. No way to guard both players, and Kennedy Stormer left wide open.
Aldridge feeling it from three, but just has not been able to finish. Had Martindam up in her face there at the last second. Got a little bit of contact, but the official was not buying it. Martindam looking for something as she's cut off on her way to the basket, and the Mystics will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Dakota looking for something. Again, they did a really good job early on, or I should say Kennedy Stormer, who's very good at drive and kick out. Dakota probably just didn't get close enough to the basket for any defensive help to come, as Blue Hawks look like a hockey team making a line change here. And Garza makes her way back into the game. And the size of Enebo will take a seat again.
Yeah, the Blue Hawks might be looking to exhaust these Mystics a bit, as the Mystics might be a bit tired. Not looking any bit of it. They're playing with intensity. The Blue Hawks really rely on their bench, though. They had 26 points from their bench in the previous game, 20 leading into halftime. So they play a lot of girls and really balanced offense.
Aldridge says she's sick of the three-point line, and she gets the bucket for two. As Isaiah and I have talked many times at breaks tonight, we're curious what this Mystics women's team will look like stamina-wise, as Ashley lets one fly and hits Martindam from the corner with another three-pointer, and it is the Ashley Martindam show for the Mystics tonight.
Let's see a triple-double. I'm here for it.
You might get it. She is. As I was just mentioning, some questions about stamina, and Ashley Martindam says, stamina, what's that? Watch this. So, 61-49 lead for the Mystics here with 4:35 in the third quarter, and you can see the energy level is not the question in wondering for this BSC team already tonight.
Yeah, they're playing with pace, with intensity. Up 12, we will be right back. Maintaining a 12-point lead over the Blue Hawks, and Ashley Martindam has been the player of the hour. 7 of 11 from the field, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Just hit the ground running with 8 points for the Mystics already in this 5.5 minutes. What a game for her, and we still have another quarter left. And Enebo of the Blue Hawks has been their leading scorer, but hasn't really gotten much going in this third quarter.
Garza had the right idea, but a dive to the basket unexpectedly will force a turnover. A tale of two very different offensive-minded teams. Mystics with 13 threes, DSU with only 5. So you can see who likes the three-point arc a little more. Obviously, DSU with a little more size. But Mystics also 21 of 52 from the field. So balancing it out as this season has gone on, and a little bit of a shove, a little bit of an elbow, maybe a little too much for the likings of the officials. And an offensive foul will be called on McKenna Hoagie and give the ball back to the Mystics. It wasn't a whole lot, but the little elbow flick will get you every time.
Yeah, it was kind of up in that neck area or so got a big reaction, and it looked like the right call to me. Just contact up there, not exactly what you want to see from the offense.
And speaking of Martindam, she is collapsed on by DSU defenders, finds plenty of contact, and we'll go shoot some free throws, and I will shut my mouth for a few seconds.
Ashley Martindam making all of Willow City proud with this performance.
I don't know what to do anymore at the free throw line. I'll just let them do their thing.
Well, they shoot at 70%, so that means that 3 out of 10 will still miss. I don't know if we can do anything about that.
I'll take that batting average all day.
Yeah.
A really nice fake into the basket from Hoagie, but just cannot finish. 2 really nice moves. But BSC ready for it defensively, and we'll see what Stormer can come up with. No fear. She kind of just went to the basket looking for some contact, and that's exactly what she's going to find, and she'll go back to the line.
Yeah, really bailed out by DSU, as she really had no good shot at the basket, but looked like her feet maybe came out from under her. So a little too much contact from DSU, and that is their 6th foul in this quarter. So some of the Blue Hawks may be starting to get into foul trouble here.
You know, as not so ready as the DSU defense there was for Stormer, there is no effective way of guarding Kennedy Stormer unless you somehow get all ball when she goes up. And that's why she is such a smart, quick, and skilled basketball player, as she's able to hit. And the Mystics grow their lead to 14 here with just about 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Again, Garza in, Annabo still having a seat on the bench. So DSU working with a little less size than they're used to, as another three-pointer goes up for Steadily, unable to hit, and down Howard to the basket, rolls off the rim, but will find a foul, and DSU's bench is not thrilled about some of the foul calls tonight. It's kind of just forced up shots, finding enough contact to get to the line. And all this defensive positioning just kind of out of position, and the Mystics are taking full advantage. It's Downhauer able to hit on the first one.
Downhauer, a very good free throw shooter, shoots at 79%.
This DSU defense clearly frustrated defensively with these foul calls, but they're just, BSC just fast. They're getting to the basket. Their moves are so quick, and DSU's just not ready for the quickness when it comes. As Temple finds some points of her own. Kennedy Stormer again looking for something. A kick out to Martindam again off the back of the rim. Harper Harris goes up for the rebound, and somehow Dakota comes up with it, and another foul called.
Wow.
Just on the quickness of this BSC team tonight. And we were questioning the energy level from the start. Holy smokes tonight.
Man, Dakota should be in consideration for the 6th Player of the Year award. I mean, absolutely phenomenal off the bench, giving this team whatever it needs, whether that's rebounds, points, and has a very textbook way of playing. Very good at posting up a nice looking shot. She's just a very good player for them off the bench.
And I know we've kind of beat a dead horse here with the energy level, but again, something to kind of keep an eye on, as this game is comfortable but also not very comfortable for BSC based on the scoring margin. The energy level nearing the fourth quarter here. We'll see if BSC can keep up this tempo that they continue to have, as number 30, Carson Temple, finds a foul of her own and will go shoot some free throws. And a couple new Blue Hawks will enter the game. They've kind of had the mentality of 3 or 4 coming in at a time, using a lot of bench, which of course we thought the Mystics would have with all of these games this week using their bench. But Coach Jason Harris has kept the Mystics pretty fresh. They've kind of kept the core on the court while switching out a few here and there. Harper Harris with the rebound off the free throw, and here comes Stormer. A lot of space given to Stormer here. Let's see if she pulls the trigger on a 3. She'll hand it off to Downhauer, and they'll swing it around. It'll be the Ashley Martindam show will go to work, and just cannot get close enough to the basket for a good shot. And here comes Garza, the nice kick out pass. Some nice moves down low from Clarkson, and she'll find some glass and bank one in. And this lead cut down to 10 here, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I told you that 15-ish point lead in the basketball game can last a very short amount of time.
And I was talking about how the Mystics are really good at knocking down their free throws. They're only shooting 56.3% in this matchup. So that's allowed them to get back into the game. I mean, they missed 4 straight free throws, and all of a sudden Dickinson State has momentum.
A nice step back from Garza, but cannot finish. Stormer's gonna pull out here, but unloads from 3, and just what the Mystics needed. Another 3 for Kennedy Stormer. And they will take that to a timeout, as the Mystics holding on to a 13-point lead here as we near the fourth quarter.
Mystics pep band making its return this sports year for the Mystics athletics, starting in the volleyball game, as pumping up the crowd here. We saw some of the Mystic faithful on their feet after that three-pointer from Kennedy Stormer.
See the defensive mindset there. The second Garza touches the ball, you got 4 girls surrounding her. I got to give it to the drummer. I feel like he just does his own thing over there.
Pretty entertaining.
I'm jealous. I kind of want to go over there and just kind of do my thing on the drums for a while. I enjoy the music, and there's just kind of banging on drum in the background. I love it.
Nice defense from Ashley Martindam.
Another good look, but DSU just can't connect there.
There's our drummer nailing it on the beats. Shout out.
He's on rhythm, and then you get like 4 more beats than you thought you were going to get. Here comes Piper Harris as we approach 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Again, hoping the Mystics can finish off a quarter on both sides of the court as Downhauer lets one fly. And Downhauer with another 3 to grow this lead under a minute to go.
She can shoot it. I mean, that's the shot she shoots more than any other, and she is very lethal from that range. Doesn't get a whole lot of playing time typically, but she's been in for a few minutes in this third quarter, and if you give her that much space, she's really dangerous.
Yeah, kind of the benefits of maybe not having too much of the scouting report on her is if you give her that much space, good luck defensively. She'll hit one. With just about 30 seconds to go here, as talked about numerous times. Finishing here, which the Mystics have done a great job of tonight. Piper kicks it out to Martindam for another 3 and off the rim. And the Blue Hawks will have the ball here.
Nice
Game
pass.
clock turned off. Enabo benefits from a beautiful pass. And the Mystics will operate with 13 to go. Hopefully get a good shot off here. 10 seconds. Piper Harris letting some movement go by. Maybe a little bit of ISO. Martindam's going to take the ball. 2 seconds left. Ashley Martindam gets the basket, but kind of has to force up a really tough shot. And we will go to the fourth quarter with the Mystics clinging to a 14-point lead. Again, a great basketball game to start our night here tonight. We'll see what the fourth quarter has in store.
Kennedy Stormer back on the court for the Mystics after taking a brief rest. You do not see her on the bench very often, and she is right back in the thick of things for the Mystics.
No, Isaiah gave me some great feedback at the break. If they're clinging to a lead, I will say, can the Mystics hold on to a lead tonight? I'll change my wording just for you, Isaiah.
Thank you. I mean, just the clinging. I feel like if you're barely up, you have to cling to it. But if you're up 14, then you can like hold it pretty loosely, you know.
I told you, a 14-point lead in basketball games don't make me any kind of comfortable. So
yeah, don't grow stagnant or
Downhauer hits from 3, unable to hit. Harper Harris battling for the rebound, also knocks over Enabo in the process.
Yeah.
And here come the Blue Hawks. You can see Enabo very comfortable anywhere with the ball in her hand and gets to the basket, and the ball rolls around the rim and in. Lead down to 12 with 9 minutes to go here. We'll see what the Mystics can come with offensively here. Kennedy looking for something, wasting no time, but a little too strong at the hoop. And here with a little backside shove from Stormer that doesn't get the attention of the official. So a wrestling match going on in front of us. I think everyone's just like, what's going on here?
That was, I mean, that was an acting job. My
I don't think she's being like over dramatic. I think that's just how Stormer plays, but she's looking at the official like, when is enough enough? But nonetheless, here she goes to the basket. Kick out, nice pass to Martindam, but Martindam cannot connect. Stormer almost came up with that rebound somehow. And here come the Blue Hawks. Annabelle begging for the ball at the free throw line. A nice turnaround jumper, but she cannot finish. And Stormer with another rebound. Stormer with 5 rebounds now, I believe, with her 21 points. Leading this team in points with Ashley Martindam close behind with 18, but Martindam with 12 rebounds on her double-double. The Mystics seem to maybe be burning a little bit of clock here. Getting a good shot. McPherson for 3 and off the front of the rim. Kind of looked short from the beginning there. Maybe a little bit of defense in front of her. Foul called, and Shanrock not pleased with the call. Again, just this BSC team taking advantage of some speed, and DSU just kind of can't keep up with a lot of cuts in motion. Results in another foul, which again could turn into some free throws here down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Piper Harris getting that big time rebound. I mean, she's 5'4", but just a few nights ago, she had 10 rebounds. I mean, she's everywhere on the court, and that time benefiting from a long bounce off the three. The Mystics keep their possession alive.
Piper Harris looking for something. She's going to go up against the size. Probably not going to shoot over Enabo. Piper lets one go. Cannot hit. She's not getting her own rebound. The shot clock went off, but the ball hit the net, or the rim, sorry. And the Mystics take advantage of another offensive rebound. Enabo with a nice jumper from the side. And Enabo up to almost 20. I believe she has 19 now with her 6 rebounds. And she also hasn't played probably as much minutes as she's used to. Martyrdam gets the basket, but forced to put up a tough shot. Enabo has 19 points, 6 rebounds. She's had a lot of really nice shots from around the basket, not just at the basket. And another rebound for Kennedy Stormer. She's been at the right place in the right time so much tonight as she lets another 3. And Hoagie there for the rebound. So we dip below 7 minutes, and Enabo is just going to continue doing her thing. A really nice pass, but Temple unable to finish the reverse layup. Piper Harris saw a big opening there. Temple cuts it off. Maybe a couple steps there. And we've seen a lot of pivots and a lot of feet dragging tonight. Only a couple travels called it. Stormer.
Nice screen.
Takes advantage of a beautiful screen at the top and gets to the bucket.
She's just calling Martyrdam over, come on, and found just the right moment to drive around the crowd. And Kennedy Stormer absolutely lighting up the stat sheet. She's at 23 points.
And those two work off of each other so well. They spend so much time on the court together minutes-wise that I'm sure they can read each other's minds half the game. And Kennedy Stormer also a transfer from Minot State, where she had a lot of productivity for the Beavers up north. You dip below 6 minutes to go here. Martyrdam posting up down low with not a lot of size on her. The size is kind of off in other areas. And unfortunately, kind of takes position off of her as she's boxed out really well by Aldridge, and will get called for the reach foul. Ball back to the Blue Hawks. So although she posted up really well, her positioning didn't help her defensively. Coach Harris was trying to teach her how to box out from the chair, but I don't think it was going to benefit her any. A really nice closeout defensive there from Stormer, but a really nice turnaround jumper from Garfield results in another bucket. Again, we'll see what the Mystics' mindset is here offensively. A little more dribbling than we're used to, maybe burning a little bit of clock, trying to get a really good shot. A nice kick out to Lawrence. She's not going to waste any time from the three-point line. And again, Martyrdam just tough positioning there again and gets called again for the over the back. Coach Harris again trying to teach her how to box out from the bench, and she just kind of, I know.
Yeah, love the aggressiveness going after the rebound, but both times just grabbing at the lower area of the rebounder. That's going to get called every time.
As we dip below 5 minutes, also keep in mind Stormer and Martyrdam both with 3 fouls here as we go down the stretch here of the 12-point game. Off the mark from Cone. Rebound to the Mystics.
DSU is getting good looks, but they're not falling. Not enough of these close 5-footers or so are going down. That one just coming a little too hard off the glass.
Blue Hawks shooting 25 of 63 from the field, but I feel like that could easily be 35 of 63 based on the looks they've been able to get, just as Isaiah mentioned. Can remember a lot of really good looks they've had that just haven't found their way to the net. And we will get a timeout here with 4:16 remaining. Mystics with a 12-point lead.
4:16 remaining in this game as the Mystics have the ball and a 12-point advantage. Make sure to stick around after this one ends to see the men's game, where Jaw Gully and the Bismarck State Mystics will take on the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. The men, of course, getting their first win against the #1 Bellevue in the Frontier Conference earlier, looking to build off of that momentum at home.
Dakota with a defender up in her face, falling backwards, but still able to capitalize. A big shout out tonight to the local crowd. BSC Mystic Nation has showed up for a really good rivalry tonight, and DSU has traveled very well. So great to see a really good crowd on hand for what could be a new rivalry in the state of North Dakota as BSC and DSU go at it at the Armory tonight. A really nice pass, but window closed a little too early, and Garza with the takeaway. DSU not wasting a ton of time here. A nice kick-out pass across the court, but off the back of the rim. Lawrence with the nice rebound in traffic. Stormer hustling across. Again, we'll see what the offensive mindset is. Lawrence hasn't shot the 3-ball yet, so maybe they are trying to waste a little bit of time. Usually Lawrence doesn't waste a whole lot of time before she uncorks from 3. Stormer looking for something, some ISO here. As we get 5 seconds on the shot clock, Stormer's gonna have to find something. A kick out to Lawrence at the buzzer and off the front of the rim. Rebound to the Blue Hawks. A nice pass ahead, and Garza kind of caught the ball in a really tough spot, but finds enough contact, and we'll go to the line for some free throws. We'll see what free throw percentages look like these last 2.5 minutes. Garza does have just 3 points tonight. She is their leading scorer, but she's only leading scorer at 10 points per game. She does kind of spread the stat sheet all over the place. So although only averaging 10 points a game, she is a big rebounder and a big facilitator for this Blue Hawks team, as she is able to knock some free throws down there. And a timeout taken by Dickinson State with 2:47 remaining. Mystics up 76-64.
We'll keep it right here for a brief message from the Frontier Conference. The Frontier Conference would like to thank the following corporate partners for their continued financial support: BSN Sports and Nike, Cooper Tire and Tire-Rama, the D.A. Davidson Companies, Eric Hotels, First Interstate Bank, Billings Clinic and Logan Health, McDonald's of Great Falls, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi and the Harrington Bottling Company, Snap Mobile, Winwan Technologies, and the Montana Army National Guard. Uncommon is calling. Don't forget to download the Frontier Conference app in partnership with Snap Mobile. The app is free to download. Just search for FC Sports in the App Store on Apple or Google Play for Android. Thank you for listening and enjoy tonight's contest.
I'm not sure what the capacity of the Armory is, but we're inching there. Few open spots, but great to see a really good crowd for, again, a new in-state rivalry as the Mystics enter the NAI and Dickinson State comes on over from the North Star into the Frontier. Mystics burning a little bit of clock here as we approach 2.5 remaining. Stormer with a nice kick out to Lawrence. Lawrence from 3. It's all sorts. Aaliyah McPherson with a really nice rebound, and the Mystics will get to burn some more clock here.
Big time rebound.
Huge.
That's been a big story. The Mystics getting so many rebounds and so many opportunities at second chance points. The Mystics are up to 45 rebounds.
Stormer gets the basket for another big one. Mystics lead grows to 14, and you also wonder size-wise, Enebo still on the bench as Garza gets the hoop for another one. Enebo has no fouls, so her 19 points sitting on the bench right now. Kind of a question mark, but we will see what the last minute 45 has in store. Piper Harris trying to look for something. Does have the lane completely cleared out. See how aggressive she is here offensively. Oh, nice fake to Kennedy Stormer, but cannot finish at the basket. That was like a fake reverse right there. A nice pass down low, but just in a really tough spot for Izzy Kelly to handle. And here comes Piper Harris looking to burn some more clock with 1:10 remaining. That was a really nice fake dribble handoff, just could not finish. And again, the difficulties of guarding Kennedy Stormer show up again as a foul on Dylan Steadily, I believe, will be her 5th, and she will take a seat as Jada Clarkson comes back into the game.
Well, the Mystics are in prime position to get their 4th straight win in the Frontier Conference. This team really heating up as of late. Following this contest, they will have a break this weekend, thank goodness,
Man,
before
much needed.
returning to face Providence and Montana State University Northern in this building on the 30th and the 31st. Dickinson State will travel back home to face Providence and Montana State University Northern as well.
3-pointer from the Blue Hawks. And Temple off on that one. Garza with a nice rebound. DSU kind of kicked up the tempo as a charge is called. And Blue Hawks head coach Eric Nelson has a lot of questions for the official. And I think the officials are just kind of over listening to coaches in this one.
I mean, everyone in this building can hear them.
Nelson used every word to describe a bad call he possibly could have. So, unfortunately, he didn't get the call he wanted. Maybe a make-up no call there as Stormer gets tackled and Garza gets to the basket and will go to the free throw line. So maybe some make-up no calls and calls from the other officials. 23 seconds remaining. Garza will go to the line. Again, she does fill up the stat sheet in every direction possible with her 8th point there. The Blue Hawks just 5 of 22 from 3, so definitely not their strong suit. As Garza hits her other free throw, but again, this DSU team has struggled with defensive rebounding, and that has been on high volume tonight as the Mystics look fantastic rebounding, and this Mystics women's team will pick up another big conference win as they take down rival Dickinson State. 78-68, a great win as this crazy week of 3 games comes to an end for this women's team.
A big-time win for this squad, continuing to heat up. Kennedy Stormer, Ashley Martindam absolutely leading this team right now. And of course, everyone else contributing in a big way. They hit so many big threes in this game and really were very in a comfortable position for almost all the 4th quarter. With this win, they're going to surpass Montana Western and get into the number 7 spot in the Frontier Conference. So after a rough spot, they're getting right into that middle of the Frontier Conference, really making a push for seeding for this tournament at the end of the year. But right now, this team looks like it could beat just about anybody.
Absolutely. Great to see this win streak continue and the energy. And as they just proved to us, they played 3 games this week, and Temple might have slowed down a little bit there at the end. Not like they needed to score a ton of points to keep that win in their pocket, but nonetheless, this women's team has a motor, has a solid core, and has a solid support group off the bench. So great win for the Mystics women tonight. Hopefully the men can come out with the W against this Dickinson State team as well.
Yeah, we got a few highlights for you as Kennedy Stormer absolutely unloads on that ball. Really nice misdirection from Dakota here. But the Mystics were really cashing their threes at just the right time. Stormer pulling up from absolutely everywhere and getting it done. So great job. Congratulations to Coach Jason Harris as his women are on a 4-game win streak and showing no signs of slowing down.